I had to remake this whole video after making it because the save file didn't save right and the video got corrupted and I lost the whole thing. So if it seems a little weird, be gentle. Okay, here's a video. So in the game you dissolve immediately when you touch water, but in other sources of Splatoon media, it seems that they can actually go in water, the Inklings that is. Of course, this isn't very clear as a fact because there's so much contradictory evidence in the fact that you really do dissolve in the actual game itself. Still, I thought it'd be very important to go over all possible interactions with Inklings in the water and figure out if they actually can go in the water or not at all ever. I will say this before you get into this video, there is no definite conclusion, yes or no answer. So by the end of this video, I'll be giving an educated guess whether they can or not ever interact with water, using whatever evidence I can get towards or against Inklings being able to go into the water. Now eventually this video will be outdated, especially with an eventual possible Splatoon 3 that might give new information or lore on Inklings and Octolings. So if there is anything that might be towards or against Inklings and Octolings being able to go into the water, comment it down below, give us a link, and let us see it. Enough of an intro, let's get into the research now. Let's start with the theory that Inklings are completely toxic to water. There's obviously the game mechanic of exploding when you touch water. Man, that sounds weird saying it out loud. I don't think I need to explain that one, but there are signs in the maps that I should explain. There's these little yellow signs that warn Inklings of water. At first I thought they were just decoration for the maps that featured water, but they weren't in all of them. The more strange locations, where people wouldn't ever hang out at other than for turf war. For example, Inkblot Art Academy. And nobody's gonna go in the water over there. But on stages where you would regularly go into the water, the signs do appear, like Muscle Forge Fitness, because it has a pool under the level. Either way, the design of the Inkling on the logo shows it getting hurt before it jumps into the water. Combine that with these quotes by Mary, and it kinda seems like Inklings can't go in the water at all. And that's about all the anti-water things I could find in the actual game itself and other media. Not much, but it's pretty solid, you can't lie. I guess they don't really feel the need to explain that Inklings can die in the water in the game, considering how it happens in the game when you die in the water. But surprisingly, there's a lot of pro-water evidence. Starting with this joke right here by Mary about needing a cold shower, it implies they cover themselves in some kind of fluid that isn't ink. Because if they showered in ink, it'd be like us showering in blood, because Inklings make their own ink. You don't shower in your own fluids. I hope you don't. You shower in water and soap. So the Inklings probably shower in some kind of water maybe. Also, it's not like they can't take water at all. In fact, there's in-game evidence of this with one of the Splatfests. It was snowing during Frosty Fest. Snow is water, so they can take water. Very little of it, according to the in-game evidence, but they can take water according to the in-game evidence. Lastly, there's this one little gag in the Splatoon manga. Goggles and Bobblehead just jump into the pool with all their friends, forcing them to tag along into the water. What we're really looking at though are these last two panels over here. It reinforces the idea that Inklings can't swim at all, but it doesn't show them exploding, fizzling away, etc. It shows them wet, out of the pool in the next panel, meaning they got out without exploding. This isn't a little pool either, this is Mahi Mahi Resort from the first game, which contradicts what was shown in the game, because at the new Albacore Hotel, when you fall in the water, you go poof. Which leads me to my concluding statement slash theory here. The Splatoon Tumblr confirmed that Inklings are made out of ink, which doesn't make sense, because if they were made entirely out of ink, they would flop to the ground. Also, they have sentience, unlike ink, which is just a material. So my best guess to tighten all these inconsistencies together is this. Earth's water has become very, very salty due to the humans screwing up Earth. Salty water will cause osmosis to a semi-permeable membrane. You don't need to know anything about that, it's just that means that if something is really thin, a really thin material touches salty water, the stuff in it will go out of it. Well, actually it's due to a difference in salt levels, but we're not going to go into the science right now. Anyways, this salt level difference causes the Inklings to explode when they touch the water because all their ink flies out of their bodies when they're in the water due to the osmosis activating. Their bodies being made out of the semi-permeable membrane that contains all of their ink inside. The warning signs of the levels that feature them are there to tell Inklings that the water is currently full of salt when it usually isn't. Which also explains why some stages wouldn't have these signs, because the world is already messed up and full of salt, so the Inklings don't need to be warned that the world is full of salt. They already know. They would need to be warned in the more contemporary levels because those are hangout spots for the Inklings. No one's gonna go have a fun day at a bridge or at a construction site, but at a camp or at a hotel, yeah, an Inkling might go for a swim if there's no match going on, if there's no salt in the water either. Inklings are known for seeking pleasure and being lazy, so of course they didn't enjoy the water if they could swim in it. Well, it's more like float on a rubber ducky than swim actually, because they are terrible swimmers. They keep reiterating that they're horrible swimmers in all the media. Splatoon media, that is. If you think my idea is unreasonable, Then explain to me how they got out of Mahi Mahi Resort wet without exploding, because that's a multiplayer stage. Seriously, any other ideas would be really appreciated in the comments below. But yeah, I think the world is crazy salty. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it for now. I hope everyone gets to subscribe and stick around for some Splatoon content if they decide to. I, Blue, will see you later on another video, whether you subscribe or not. I hope to see you again. Alright, toodaloo now. Oh, I almost forgot to say, make sure to avoid water so you don't explode instantly. I just really wanted to say that. Okay, that wasn't related to the video at all. Bye bye.